I know we talked about this in the car, but I don't think we talked about it in the podcast about revisiting old songs or albums of bands you just didn't like.
Oh, yeah.
Did we talk about this in the podcast?
No,
we didn't.
No, we were going to, but then we went. We did what we always do.
Yeah.
I got sidetracked and went really long, and then ended up tabling that. So yeah.
So yeah, we did talk about this a little bit off camera. I want to talk about it on camera in case anyone else is watching too. So
what's something you totally despised?
Something I totally didn't like. I wouldn't say like I hated them.
Oh,
like I have vendetta against them, but like I didn't like their music at all. And that's My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, you mentioned this on your Anchor thing. By the way.
I did mention.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Anchor
probably
podcast.
why it's fresh in your mind. I'm getting serious now.
So My Chemical Romance. Like I wasn't really into them. Like I remember their their videos and the Black Parade and all that, but for the most part,
the videos they did for 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge were awesome.
Yeah,
those were great videos.
What is it, Helena?
Yeah,
that was a really good video. So yeah, like I didn't really like them. I was like, no, this isn't my stuff, And then you also brought that up that they had a similar vibe to AFI.
I always call them AFI knockoffs,
which I can totally see.
Yeah,
at least their early stuff.
Yeah,
their later stuff was definitely different.
Their later stuff, it's funny because they're like Welcome to the Black Parade. Like so, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge is kind of like mid '90s knockoff AFI.
Yeah,
and then Black Parade is like 2000s knockoff AFI. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. And this kind of goes back to like 2015.
Yeah.
So when I started getting into them because of a YouTuber friend, Beth Boulevard, who really loves My Chemical Romance.
I really like that band. I hated them at first, but that had nothing to do with me hearing it and going, I don't like it. I saw them. I was like, fuck these AFI knockoffs. And I didn't, because I love AFI. Top 3 band. AFI is one of my top 3 bands.
Right. Yeah. I know how much you love them.
Yeah.
So because of her, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give them another chance. Because I think what happened was like she posted, I think, a video or something. I decided just to watch it. And I was like, wow, this is really good. It wasn't one of the popular of the songs. I can't remember what it was exactly, but for the most part, like I started listening to them like, this isn't bad. And then I kind of like started hearing them every, now and again on the mix, on like the online mix, Google Play mix, whatever. So like, you know what? I'm going to download their album. I'm going to give them a chance, I downloaded the 2 of their albums, Black Parade and 3 Cheers
for Sweet Revenge. Yeah.
And fuck, those were really good.
They were good albums. Huh?
I was like,
good albums.
I feel like shit for not giving it a chance. I was this like enraged punk, it's all about punk music, man.
It's got too emo.
Yeah. And of course, I'm a giant emo kid as well. I like the Get Up Kids.
Every punk kid is an emo kid that's afraid to admit it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I speak from a place of knowing.
Exactly.
Except I was never afraid to admit it.
So I went back and I started listening to their discography. I can't say that. Yeah. And
some of their early stuff is really good because again, it's like early '90s
it's like
AFI
early
knockoff
90s
stuff.
Yeah. So like I would say like I'm actually a big fan of My Chemical Romance, and then you were surprised because you said
I knew you didn't like them.
Yeah.
Like we had talked about it because I like that band.
And it's funny because I used to not like Radiohead.
I still don't like Radiohead.
I know. Well, me being an emo kid, like that's something you have to like,
It's too much, man.
And I didn't like them at first. I didn't like Radiohead. I'm like, no, that's just not my thing, whatever. And then I didn't start liking Radiohead probably until 2004 or 5. I think when they put out that For Free album.
Oh, yeah. God,
I think it was Kid A or something like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, and then I started going back and listening to their stuff. And I became a fan of theirs. So I've kind of like has that happened to you? Sorry, I got a long-winded question.
Fine. I've been waiting because I do. This one is...
And to you, anyone watching, comment below.
This is pretty big.
Okay.
I hated Dude Ranch the first time I heard it.
How do you hate Dude Ranch?
Fucking hated it.
So much that you lost your hat.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. And it's not like that was the first, Blink stuff I ever heard. Like I'd heard their other stuff, but I hated Dude Ranch.
Wow.
It felt like coming from earlier works, it felt kind of, I won't say homogenized because it still had that edge to it, but it felt like they were trying to make a, quote, punk album for the mainstream. Based on, again, that's not just based on Damn It.
Okay, yeah.
But that Damn It is the quintessential reason why I didn't like that album. Because it is a punk song that was, and it might just be the age they were at, but that felt like it was formulated for mainstream. For people to be like, I like punk too. No, you don't. You like this shitty Blink-182 crap. And it's not even their good stuff. But that album, I went out and bought it because I was a fan. And I popped it in and I listened to it. And I was like, well, I don't like this. And I listened to it all the way through, like over like maybe a weekend, a whole week maybe. Where I just listened to it over and over and over again. I was like, maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe it'll grow on me. I just spent $20 on this fucking thing. Because back in the day, kids, CDs cost $20.
$15 to $20.
Yeah. So I was
15
like,
if you're lucky.
I was like, maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe it'll grow on me. And it just never did over that week or time span that I gave it. And I just put it in my CD case and didn't come back to it for like maybe 2 years. Like 2 years later, I came back to it. No, not 2 years. Because it was right. I think my ideals and my personality had changed a little bit. Because I ended up revisiting that album right when Enema of the State was going to be coming out. Because to me, even though that is far more homogenized than Dude Ranch, that album felt more genuine to me. Like the songs I had heard felt more genuine than the Dude Ranch stuff had felt. And I was like, well, maybe I'll go back and let me give Dude Ranch another go. So I put in Dude Ranch and listened to it and I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. This is an amazing album. But again, it might have just been my personality at the time. And like, those are years where you go through leaps and bounds of change in the things you like and the reasons you like them. And for me, again, that was 95, 96, 97, that I'm 14, 15, 16 years old, where you really start to kind of find yourself.
Yeah.
And realize, man, I think I might have kicked my own ass if I went back in time and saw 14-year-old me, because he was a fucking idiot. Whereas before, you would be like, man, 14-year-old me would be kicking my ass right now because of something I'm doing. But then you realize, no, 14-year-old me is a fucking idiot. But yeah, Dude Ranch is the biggest one I can think of.
Wow.
I hated it.
Because I do remember because most of my punk music that I liked were more of the lesser known bands. They were mostly like East Bay, Chicago bands.
Yeah.
And and then you got Blink-182 coming out, taking some of that, because they were highly influenced by Screeching Weasel. Mm-hmm. Blink-182. Yeah. They even covered some, I think 2 of their songs. And I think I had that little bit of hate towards them too. Because of that, but at the same time I was like, fuck, I can't deny this music. How good it's so good. Yeah. I do remember that because my friend at the time, he kind of felt the same way, but we were like, is this still good though?
It's one of those things like, hey, can I tell you I like this? I can't tell anybody else, right?
But yeah, that's why I can understand why you didn't like it.
It just, at the time, and if you go back and
perhaps,
listen,
Enema of the State maybe also put that in perspective as well, because that album itself has hardcore or strong pop punk as well as commercial mainstream songs on it. Yeah.
Enema's a good album.
It is a good album.
So that's another one where at first I didn't like it, because the first time hearing it I was like, this just sounds like even more of what I didn't like about Dude Ranch. This is times 10. Yeah. But then after listening to that a few times, no, but this feels more genuine than Dude Ranch did. And then I went back and listened to Dude Ranch and I was like, no, this is still good, but I still feel the same way about Dude Ranch, but I can accept that it's a good album. Yeah. But I still feel like they were trying really hard on that album. On Dude Ranch. Yeah. Okay. Where I felt like they found it, and it was more genuine on Enema, which, again, may not be a popular opinion. But Enema of the State was one of the first.
I feel that's where they really found their voice.
Yeah, I think Enema was the first thing Amber and I ever talked about. We had summer school together, and she was talking about it with somebody, and I was talking about it with somebody, and then me and her started talking about it, and I was like, yeah, it just feels like more of what I didn't like. I don't like this song or that song or blah blah blah. But there's some good stuff on here. But I'm kind of jaded because I didn't like Dude Ranch, but I like earlier stuff. And like so that was like Blink-182 was like the first thing Amber and I bonded over kind of enjoying Enema of the State, but not really, like cautiously enjoying it. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things.
Like,
I
you
get.
like it? You know you like it.
And then we've talked about this before, but you and I met because of music. So.
Oh yeah, I was like, "Cause of music?"
Yeah.
You did? Like I thought it was Dignation, but no, you're right. That was after the music.
We met because of music. Because you, me, and Fran would always wave to each other because we were the only assholes that followed Plastic Parachutes at every venue they were at. And then we just started chatting. And like, so music is what brought us together as friends, and that's been 13 years now.
Fuck, dude. That's a long time.
Something like that. No. 12, because my daughter's 11, so 12 years.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. Damn, man. I can't believe Dude Ranch.
Yeah, that's
There's
the
no
one.
other album you can think of.
Let me see.
Well, what do you think? Like there's a band that I love now that when I first heard them, kind of had, which I kind of call like, well, I didn't personally call this. I saw this in a documentary, the Ramones effect. Where when you listen to them, sometimes you're like, you don't like it, but then the more you hear it, the more you like it. That was how the Weaker Thans were for me.
Okay.
I've never heard of this band. I've never heard of fucking Canadian music in the first place. And then my girlfriend at the time loves this band and starts playing their music. You know, like I don't want to be judgmental, but the guy's voice is bad.
This sucks, right?
It's not good.
But again, it's that emotional connection you have with it.
Yeah. And then like the more, you know, she played it in the car, you know, the more I was like, actually really started like, all right, let me pay attention to the song and actually see what they're singing about. I was like, fuck, like this guy's a fucking poet, man. He's good. He was almost nearing at the Elliott Smith level. I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, I love the Weaker Thans, but Elliott Smith is like poet right there. But yeah, like it just caught on to me, and that ended up becoming one of like my all-time favorite bands, which is one of the reasons why I flew to New York just to see them. You know, and well, they were also playing them with the New Amsterdams, and was the guy from Alkaline Trio? No, it wasn't him. It was someone else from another band. Who was it? Who's that? That's the band. Oh my god, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, like I have that. Like it's funny. Like you've had that effect where you kind of just like it grew on you after multiple listens. I'm sure it has.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Can you get my water for me?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I can't really think of one that, you know, is as big or as, you know, man, I really didn't like this as much as Dude Ranch, but I can tell you about an album that I went the complete other way with.
Okay.
That I loved when it came out because of my predisposed love for this band. And then as time has gone on, I realized that it's like my least favorite album by this band. And that album is Darklight by him. Again, top 3 band. I'm
not familiar with him. I mean, I've heard their music. I'm just not
probably
familiar with their
my
albums.
favorite. I have. Yes, I'm one of those dorks that has a heartogram tattoo. Judge me all you want. I don't care. It really affects me if you think my tattoo is stupid, like, or the thing I like is dumb. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, that's something like I take from Colin Moriarty. I played that clip for you where he's like, "Oh, fucking the Jets suck. Oh, 311 sucks," and he's like, "Oh, you're cutting me deep right there. I really give a fuck what you think about the thing that I like. Oh no." But yeah, so yeah, I know people. Some people don't like the band Him because of the association with Bam Margera. Because some people don't like Bam Margera. Whatever. I love this band. It's probably my favorite band of all time. To the point where I actually put one of their symbols on my body. And when Darklight came out, I was like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then as I got farther away from its release, I was like, I don't like that song. I'm going to skip that song when it comes on. And this was the first time on a Him album where I ever skipped a song. I was like, I don't like the title track. I don't like the track Darklight. I'm just going to skip that. I don't really like this song either. I'm going to skip that one. And like, I still like the majority of that album. But I went into that album super hyped because when that album came out was the very beginning of, not the very beginning, but it was the beginning of people posting podcasts on YouTube. And they weren't podcasts. They were just, oh, here we have this interview that we did with him about the recording of their album. That's on iTunes. Look it up. And they did like a 4-part or 5-part series with Villavallo and, I think it was him and maybe the bassist. And they were talking about like in the first episode, like, yeah, we're doing all these new things. We got a new producer. We're recording it in LA. It's the first time we recorded something outside of here, blah, blah, with a new producer. And they were really hype about it. We want people to hear Darklight, and because like their genre of music is quote love metal. And like when we hear people say what's love metal, we want to hand them this album. Keep in mind, they already had an album called Love Metal, which is one of my favorites. But they were like, we want to be able to hand this to listeners and be like, this is what love metal is. And that first episode, I was so hyped. I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. This is going to be so good. And then a few weeks later, they put another episode out, and they're still hyped, but they're a little less hyped. And then the third album, they're like, no, we've changed a lot of stuff. We've changed this is changing, that's changing, blah, 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 blah. And by the fourth episode, they seemed completely indifferent about how the album came out because of the producer they worked with and the way they recorded it and stuff like that. Like they didn't sacrifice what he wrote lyrically, but they've said they've sacrificed a lot musically because the producer was hands-on, a very hands-on producer, and I can't remember who produced it, but that album came out and I was like, oh, it's all right though. It's gonna be him. It's him. I'm still gonna love it, and I probably love 5 songs, and I probably like 8 of the 10 songs that are on it, But it's one of those albums where, like, the more I listen to it, I was like, I don't think I like that song so much. Like, I used to think I really loved this song, but it's way low on my list now. But Darklight by him is one that I went the complete other way with, to where upon more listening and going back to it, I like it less and less.
Wow, yeah. Really? They're not from here. I know that.
Yeah, they're from Finland.
Right. So they recorded that album here.
They've done that before. After that, okay. They've recorded albums out here and all that. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe that was like just a different, way of producing and like. That sucks, though, man. Yeah, especially when it happens. One of your favorite bands puts out a stinker.
And again, it's not necessarily a stinker.
Well, yeah.
But it's the same thing that I say about what I thought Dude Ranch was and what Enema of the State was. It was so fucking homogenized and watered down, and it really bummed me out because at a time where a band like fucking Evanescence is out and they're trying to do what him does so fucking well, that just seems way less than. I don't like Evanescence. I don't, because I liked him first.
Never. Same
thing where like I heard a song by Evanescence, their first song, I was like, oh, maybe this is all right, and then Fran, another guy who I bonded with music with, he's like, you should listen to Lacuna Coil. And so then I listened to Lacuna Coil, and I was like, oh my god, this is 100 times better than Evanescence. Get out of here. But yeah, like it just, Darklight felt so homogenized and put together to be their breakthrough album, And like that stuff doesn't happen that way. That stuff happens organically. And the album they put out after that, Venus Doom, is one that I really like also. And it's way better than Darklight. But Venus Doom, even down to some riffs and like some of the song structure, feels like that's what they wanted Darklight to be. This is what we wanted Darklight to be. And didn't get it out that way. But yeah, I went the other way on Darklight. And I don't hate it. I don't think it's terrible. But
it's not the album you'll pop in.
Right.
Dang. I'm trying to think if I could think of something like that. And the only thing that comes to mind is Green Day, everything they put out after
American Idiot.
I feel like they tried to. I'm not saying they're bad, because I did go back. I listened to
21st Century Breakdown.
I listened to that. It's not bad.
It's really fucking good. It's just,
I would say it's really fucking good.
When we went through it on Rock Band, that's when I realized, oh shit, this is actually really good.
I liked it, but and I didn't deserve as much hate as I gave it the first time when I first gave it over. But after, like, I wouldn't say that's the reoccurring album in my playlist as far as that goes.
Right.
But like,
I can't tell you the names of any of the songs, nor can I sing along with them. But when we played Rock Band, I was like, oh yeah, that's not bad. This is actually pretty good.
Yeah, everything after that album, Uno Dos Tres.
That's not bad either. I've actually gone back and listened to it.
One or two or three songs that I really like. Rest, no.
Yeah.
Nope, not for me.
And the new one,
Revolution
Radio, feels like, hey, let's take all this stuff and mix it with all of this stuff and kind of put them together.
I felt like that was like a happy medium.
Yeah.
And
I like it a lot.
And I like the album a lot.
And I also say like it's the first album they've ever put out where, yeah, you can tell still it's Billy Joe Armstrong, but it doesn't sound like he's doing that. Because the reason, so it took me a while to get into Green Day because I like the Clash.
Yeah.
And they're obviously heavily influenced by the Clash. All the way down to the way Billy Joe Armstrong sings his vocal. He has an affectation on his voice when he sings that sounds nothing like the way he talks. And this new album, it finally sounds like, oh, this is his real voice. Like, that's what Revolution Radio feels like to me. It's like, oh, this is the real Billy Joe Armstrong.
It's his revolution.
This isn't his Clash trying to sound like the Clash thing, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I really like that new album a lot.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to their next album. Mm-hmm. Just because of all the political shit going on right now.
See, that's what makes me not look forward to it at all. Because then it's just going to feel like American Idiot again.
I mean, they're not going to obviously put something like that, because you can't capture something like American Idiot again. Just because it's the time and the era. But, like, I feel like just in general, not just with Green Day, like, music, I think is just going to get...
Bad Religion had a great album that came out that same year, too.
You did?
Yeah.
I think I listened to it.
Is it Los Angeles is Burning?
I wasn't that much of a fan of Bad Religion.
You are a fucking... Alright, we won't go there.
I mean, I like one or two or three of their songs.
Yeah.
Like, the radio ones were alright, but for the most part, they're a band.
Yeah.
They play music.
I like them a lot, man. Yeah. I'm a huge Bad Religion fan. They had a really good album that came out that year, too. But they always have good music out.
Yeah, so for the most part, like, those 1, 2, 3 albums, like, it didn't really do it for me.
They're okay.
Yeah.
There's a good...
I wouldn't go back to them.
So here's the thing about them is, like, if you miss, like, old school Green Day, there's a lot of that on there. I think, that's why I said...
There is, yeah.
I feel like they took the concepts of 21st Century Breakdown and American Idiot and mixed them with what they were trying to do with Uno Dos Tres.
Right.
And put them together with Revolution Radio.
Which I get that, yeah. And just to throw it out there, because I already put it out on Twitter, Warning
is fucking rated, isn't it?
Man, it's so underrated.
Yeah, I agree, dude. But you and I have been saying that for a long time, though. It's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be.
Yeah, and I remember when that album came out too, because my friend at the time, like, that was like his punk band, that he got into.
Yeah.
And like he loved this band, and I'm sure he still does. But like when we heard it, we were like kind of looking at each other like, this is different, but it's good,
Yeah.
And it's so underrated. I just heard it again, and I was like, fuck, I want something like this again from them. I really want something like that from them.
So the Bad Religion album was called The Empire Strikes First, and the reason I thought it was Los Angeles is Burning is because that was the single.
Yeah.
So I wasn't being an asshole on my phone. I was listening to Rick. I was checking something because I wanted to get the information right.
Yeah, I think I put a note in that in our YouTube stuff about looking at phones. Did I? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I did. No, actually, I didn't.
But yeah, that's a good album too. You should give that a shot. It's definitely heavily on the political side, also. But yeah, man,
that's Music Corner.
I love music. Like, music is the thing I identify with the most in my life. You and I always talk about it, but we never really get a chance to do a lot of in-depth stuff because, again, it's so subjective.
It is. It
is. It's one of those things where, like I said, it's not necessarily technical proficiency. It's time and place. And I don't just mean like where you are when you're listening. I mean like where you are in life, where your personality
course,
is, where your mindset is. But yeah, I like to sort my music autobiographically.
Oh yeah. I have to give that movie another watch.
Yeah.